Close your eyes. Imagine you're alone in the darkness. Something is watching you, something you cannot see. Its breathing is mechanical, alien. You hear a clicking sound like bones snapping in rhythm. Your thermal signature glows bright against the cold jungle night, marking you as prey. You are being hunted by a creature from beyond the stars, and it is already decided you are worthy of death. Welcome to the terrifying world of the Predator franchise, where humanity's greatest warriors become nothing more than trophies in an alien's collection. For nearly 4 decades, this creature has haunted our collective nightmares, turning the hunters into the hunted. Tonight, we descend into the darkness to understand why this monster has become one of horror cinema's most enduring icons. Warning, what you're about to witness may change how you see the shadows. The hunt has already begun. The year was 1987. Audiences thought they were sitting down for another explosive action film. Arnold Schwarzenegger, military commandos, jungle warfare. Routine, safe, predictable. They had no idea what was waiting in the trees. John McTiernan's Predator is a masterclass in psychological horror disguised as an action thriller. The film's genius lies in its brutal transformation. It begins as a power fantasy, with heavily armed soldiers mowing down enemies with overwhelming firepower. Then, slowly, inevitably, the nightmare begins. The first kill is shocking in its brutality. Billy's body, hanging, skinned, and displayed like a grotesque art installation. The soldiers, the most dangerous men on Earth, suddenly realize they are no longer the apex predators. Something is out there, something that moves through the trees like smoke, something that bleeds acid green blood but feels no pain, something that collects spines as souvenirs. The horror escalates through invisibility. We don't see the creature clearly for most of the film. Instead, we experience it through distorted thermal vision, seeing ourselves as the monster sees us, warm, vulnerable meat. That bone-chilling clicking sound, a death rattle that becomes a recurring nightmare. The shimmer, that predatory ripple in the air that means death is 3 feet away. The blood, luminescent, alien, proof that this thing can be hurt but not stopped. When Dutch empties thousands of rounds into the jungle, screaming in rage and terror, we feel his desperation. The Predator doesn't just kill, it psychologically dismantles its victims first. It studies them, learns their patterns, mimics their voices to lure others into traps. This isn't mindless slaughter, it's calculated cruelty. And then we see its face. That reveal remains one of cinema's most disturbing moments. When the Predator removes its biomask, we're confronted with something simultaneously horrifying and hypnotic. The mandible spreading wide like a flower of death, the reptilian skin, those cold, calculating eyes. Stan Winston's creature design achieved the impossible, creating a monster that feels genuinely alien yet disturbingly expressive. The final confrontation strips everything away. Dutch, covered in mud to hide his heat signature, has become primitive man facing a demon. The Predator, respecting its prey's ingenuity, removes its weapons for hand-to-hand combat. This is horror at its most primal. 2 killers, 1 planet, 1 survivor. Three years later, the horror evolved. If the jungle was terrifying, imagine this creature hunting in a city of 10 million people. Predator 2 transplants the nightmare to 1997 Los Angeles during a brutal heat wave. The heat is important. These creatures are drawn to it like sharks to blood. But more than that, they're drawn to violence, to war, to chaos. Los Angeles, caught in a gang war, becomes the perfect hunting ground. The urban setting amplifies the horror in new ways. The Predator can hide anywhere now,
It's not just trees, it's rooftops, subway tunnels, penthouse apartments. It hangs from the ceiling of a slaughterhouse, surrounded by hanging carcasses, perfectly camouflaged among the dead. It emerges from a bathroom stall. It attacks in a moving subway car. Nowhere is safe. Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, played brilliantly by Danny Glover, isn't a superhuman commando. He's an exhausted cop in over his head. His terror feels real. When he discovers the skinned bodies hanging in the meat locker, his horrified reaction mirrors our own. This isn't entertainment for him, it's a waking nightmare he can't escape. The film's most chilling moment? The Predator's ship. Harrigan, wounded and desperate, stumbles into the alien trophy room. Skulls line the walls, dozens of species from across the galaxy, and there, unmistakable in the corner, a xenomorph skull. The implication is devastating. These creatures have been hunting the universe's most dangerous prey for millennia. Humans, we're just the latest collection. The elder predators at the film's end are even more disturbing. They don't kill Harrigan despite his slaying of their comrade. Instead, they give him an ancient pistol dated 1715. They've been here for centuries, watching, hunting, collecting. How many have they taken that we never knew about?
After Predator 2, something terrible happened to the franchise. It lost its horror roots. The Alien vs. Predator films, 2004, 2007, made a critical mistake. They turned cosmic horror into a gladiatorial spectacle. Yes, seeing these two legendary monsters fight was thrilling, but the films forgot what made each creature terrifying in the first place. AVP 2004 buried the action in an Antarctic pyramid, reducing the predators to alien big game hunters using xenomorphs in a coming-of-age ritual. The PG-13 rating neutered the violence. Gone was the visceral horror of skinned corpses and acid blood. In its place, sanitized action sequences where death lost its weight. AVPR Requiem 2007 overcorrected, drowning the film in darkness, literally. The movie is so poorly lit that you often can't see what's happening. When you can see, it's gratuitously violent without purpose. A predator killing a maternity ward isn't horror, it's empty shock value. Horror requires atmosphere, tension, and stakes we care about. Predators 2010 attempted redemption. The concept was brilliant. Earth's most dangerous killers abducted to an alien game preserve. The film understood that the predator works best when humans are outmatched and desperate. The scene where they realize the jungle sky has alien planets instead of a moon, that moment of existential dread, that's the horror the franchise needed. But even this film couldn't fully recapture the original's lightning. It was competent, respectful, but missing that special terror. The Predator 2018 went bigger, louder, and completely wrong. Government conspiracies, hybrid predators, and comedy that undercut every tense moment. Shane Black, who was actually in the original film, seemingly forgot what made it work. You can't joke your way through a horror film. The Predator isn't funny. It's a walking nightmare, and treating it otherwise kills the fear. By 2020, it seemed the franchise had lost its way entirely. The creature that once represented pure predatory terror had become just another action movie monster. Then, something miraculous happened. In 2022, Dan Trachtenberg reminded the world why we fear the dark. Prey strips the franchise back to its horrifying essentials. No modern weapons, no military tactics, no technological advantage. Just one young Comanche warrior, Naru, against a creature designed to kill. Setting the film 300 years in the past was genius for several reasons.
First, it removes any chance of victory through firepower. Naru has a tomahawk, a rope in her wits. The predator has plasma weaponry, cloaking technology, and centuries of hunting experience. The imbalance creates genuine, suffocating tension. Second, the historical setting grounds the horror in something primal. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's a folktale, a legend, a campfire story whispered by terrified survivors. It taps into ancient fears of monsters in the wilderness. Third, the predator itself is different. This is a younger, less experienced hunter. Its mask is bone, not metal. Its weapons are more primitive. But make no mistake, it is no less deadly. If anything, its feral nature makes it more unpredictable, more frightening. The film's horror is methodical and brutal. Watch how the predator hunts a bear, studying it, testing it, then dismantling it with surgical precision. Now imagine being Naru, watching this from hiding, knowing you're next. The trap sequences are masterpieces of tension. Naru uses the creature's honor code against it, its need to face worthy prey in fair combat. But there's nothing fair about this fight. She's bleeding, exhausted, surrounded by the corpses of everyone she knew. The predator toys with her, enjoying the hunt. The final confrontation in the mud flats is pure nightmare fuel. The predator, wounded but enraged, stalks through thick fog. Naru, using every trick she learned, every observation she made, turns the hunter's own weapons against it. The plasma caster, programmed to hit whatever the predator targets, becomes her salvation when she positions herself correctly. When she walks back to her tribe carrying the creature's severed head, it's not a triumphant moment. It's a warning. More will come. They always do. The film ends with a chilling image, predator ships descending from the clouds. The hunt never ends. It only pauses between kills.
So why does the predator endure? Why, after nearly 40 years, does this creature still haunt our imagination? Because it represents our deepest evolutionary fears. Humans became the dominant species not through strength, but through intelligence and tool use. We conquered Earth by outsmarting predators. The predator reverses this. It's smarter than us, has better tools than us, and is physically superior. It reduces humanity to what we once were, prey animals hiding in the dark, hoping the monster doesn't find us. The invisible horror, the predator's cloaking technology taps into primal paranoia. It's the feeling of being watched when you're alone. It's the shadow that moves when nothing should be there. It's the certainty that something deadly is near, but you can't see it, can't fight it, can't escape it. The code makes it worse. If the predator were mindless, it would be less terrifying. But it thinks, it judges, it decides who is worthy of death and who isn't. Being deemed unworthy, too weak to hunt, is a fate worse than death. But being chosen, that means you've been marked for a death that will be slow, painful, and inescapable. The trophy ritual is pure nightmare. Imagine knowing that if you lose, your skull will be torn from your spine and mounted on an alien wall, your entire existence reduced to a decoration. Every soldier who fought beside you, every person you loved, they'll never know what happened. You'll just disappear, become another missing person, another unsolved mystery. The predator is evolution's revenge. We thought we were safe. We thought technology made us invincible. Then something from the stars arrived to remind us we are not special, we are not safe, we're just another species to be hunted, studied, and collected. Modern relevance. In our age of surveillance and drone warfare, the predator feels more relevant than ever. We've become comfortable being the ones who watch, who target, who strike from safety. The predator asks, what if something is doing that to us? The franchise's future is terrifying. Prey proved the concept is timeless. The predator can hunt anywhere, anytime. Medieval knights,
samurai warriors, Roman gladiators, World War I trenches. The possibilities are endless, and each setting offers new ways to terrify us. Imagine a predator hunting through the trenches of Verdun, using artillery strikes as cover, or stalking through feudal Japan, mistaken for a demon from folklore, or hunting Vikings through frozen Nordic forests. Each scenario maintains the core horror: humans, outmatched and desperate, fighting for survival against an enemy they barely understand. The ultimate horror: the predators have been here for centuries, maybe millennia. How many humans have vanished into their ships? How many civilizations have they hunted? Are those mysterious disappearances throughout history actually hunts we never recognized? And they're still here, still watching, still selecting their prey. You might be next. The Predator franchise endures because it understands a fundamental truth. The scariest monster isn't the one you see. It's the one watching you from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. From Dutch's desperate fight in the jungle to Naru's cunning survival in the Great Plains, the franchise has always been about the same thing. What happens when humanity's arrogance meets something that proves we're not as advanced as we think? The Predator is more than a movie monster. It's a modern myth, a technological ghost story for the space age. It's the fear that we're not alone in the universe, and that what's out there views us the same way we view game animals. So tonight, when you're alone in the dark and you hear a sound you can't explain, remember, something might be hunting you, and you'll never see it coming.